New at 3 this month, the Greater Memphis Chamber announced that Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company will be expanding its footprint in the Bluff City by purchasing a 1 million square foot property in southwest Memphis to complement its existing operations. Here to talk more about what this means for the economy and growing the digital delta is Ted Townsend, President and CEO of the Greater Memphis Chamber. Ted, welcome back to the 3 p.m. How have you been?
Nice to be here. Yeah, I've been great. Very busy.
I can tell.
Always happy to be here for your viewers.
I do appreciate it. Let's talk about the significance of this expansion. What can it mean to just the average person out there, the economy as a whole, jobs?
Yeah. So I think this really solidifies XAI's commitment to Memphis. In this case, they have actually acquired the land and the building, whereas the other facility they were leasing, but now they have purchased this. So that spells a long-term commitment to the digital delta and the build-out of the world's largest supercomputer. As you know, in December, they announced that they would be growing the computer to a million gross graphics processing units,
right.
So GPUs, and this facility will allow them to facilitate that expansion.
Help us understand this. Will the facility itself mean a lot of jobs, or will those jobs here be limited? But the bigger picture here is the spinoff of maybe how this will create other businesses. What are we talking about?
It's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So you will see direct job creation, just as we have with the previous facility. They have about 300 people working there now. 82% of those are Memphians, which we love. But they're bringing in new talent too to our community, which is great. This allows them to hire even more jobs. Really, the impact is on the investment and the tax revenue that represents locally. We're very excited about that. We're talking billions of dollars being invested in our community. So that will attract other companies.
Let me ask you about that. Is the word slowly but surely, or very quickly, really beginning to spread about what's going on in Memphis about this digital delta and its growth here?
Yeah, we're going to have to update the maps to put digital delta right there with Memphis because it's being called back to us now, Alex. We're talking to major tech companies. These are globally recognized brands who have seen the exponential growth of XAI in the market and how we have created an environment where that is very welcoming to that investment. They want to be here, and it's being called back to us. They love the moniker Digital Delta. They want to be in the Digital Delta. And that is what we love, is that we're attracting the supply chain of artificial intelligence. So the chip producers, the servers, even the cooling systems that are required, we're attracting all of those companies now suddenly.
On another note, let's talk about this past weekend. Mayor Paul Young went out in the community at kind of a town hall meeting, met with what some would call a somewhat hostile crowd. Some people, you know, expressing concerns about the benefits and cost of XAI's investment in the city. Ted, how do you look at this? Can you understand their perspectives, their concerns, but at the same time balance that with growth potential?
Absolutely. Well, look, I'm a local Memphian, and I appreciate the advocates and their perspectives and points of view. Their inquiries are valid, and we owe them information. And so I applaud the mayor for being available to answer those questions. And we know the environment is charged. Our goal is to allow as much transparency as possible. The company wants that. We certainly want that as an organization. We have an FAQs section on our website that answer all questions about XAI, and we continually update that as well. So it is a balance. Obviously, we know that Memphis deserves and needs economic development like this. We know that the tax revenue is going to be invested back into our communities. In fact, the mayor has said he would like a resolution passed where a percentage of this new revenue dollars that XAI represents will be invested in 38109. I think that's tremendous, and that is the benefit to the public that we hope eventually over time is felt and understood.
And at the same time, you have some of the residents in Southwest Memphis who were at this town hall meeting saying that they want these gas turbines that will eventually use to stop. Is that a fair assessment there? Will that happen, or will this show continue to progress?
Well, I think what's important to know is the technology that the company is invested in with these selective catalytic reduction turbines. It actually reduces emissions 80 to 95%. And so it's a much cleaner way of producing this versus the coal plant that we used to have here, the Allen Coal Steam Plant. So this is a much more effective way of generating and producing energy in a cleaner way. So It's just a matter of getting that information out to the public.
And speaking of that information, I know you kind of addressed this earlier. Could XAI, Elon Musk, the city as a whole, and others have done a slightly better job in maybe communicating with the public about what this was really going to be about? Or did it, in your estimation?
I think we can always do a better job, obviously, but we did not withhold information. I think the information is coming to the public at a time that's very natural and organic and a part of the process. And in many cases, these economic development projects are under confidentiality and to a certain point. There are also inflection points in the conversations and development of investments that can't be in the public domain until they're ready. Everything is ready at this point to be discussed, and which is why I'm here today. It's why the mayor had that facilitation on Saturday, and we'll continue to do these because we have nothing to hide. We want information out there. This is a really exciting thing for Memphis, and we want all Memphians to feel the benefit of this and not see it as a threat, but see it as a way that we can grow our economy.
Ted Townsend, as always, glad to have you here at 3 o'clock.
Absolutely.
We'll do it again.
Thank you. Yes,
all
sir.
right.